Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So in today's video I'm going to be baking some quote-unquote self-isolation cookies. This is just a little time lapse at the start while I do my voiceover. So pretty much we're going to be baking some cookies while in self-isolation. That's what gives them their name. I hope you're all going well, and yeah, but before we do start the actual video itself, we need to do the choosing of what the cookie's theme is going to be. So that's what this is gonna be. So I'll see you then. Came for the final voting of our cookies. Will it be emojis or will it be food themed? Let's find out. And the winner is emojis! Alright, now moving on to the actual video. Here I measured 3/4 of a cup of butter and I'm going to melt it for 20 seconds in a microwave to soften it, but not fully melt it, as you can see here. I'm then popping the butter into my mixing bowl. And now I'm going to measure 1 cup of sugar. Now I am pouring that over the butter. With a fork, I'm squashing the butter and sugar together until they are blended. I'm cracking 2 eggshells and pouring the eggs over the mixture in the bowl. Also, please ignore the eggshells if you can. It's really gross, but one of them does get removed later. I think. I hope. Now I'm measuring 1 teaspoon of vanilla and a little bit extra because I like the flavor. Now with another fork I'm going to blend everything in the bowl together. Right now this sort of looks like scrambled eggs, which I don't know if it's supposed to or not, but at the end it looks much better and appetizing, so don't worry. Now I'm going to measure 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour and then pour all of the mixture in the bowl. Now I'm measuring 1 teaspoon of baking powder and sprinkling it over the flour. Since I didn't sprinkle it too well, I sort of like went in and tried to flick it, so I like spread it evenly. But now looking at this Cookie Monster photo, it looks like he just sort of dumped it in like what I did, but yeah. Now I've added in 1 teaspoon of salt and sprinkled it over flour and the baking powder. Once again, I don't know if I sprinkled it that well, but it's okay. everything together either with the fork or with your hands, but I use the fork in this situation. And now you put the dough in the ice box to chill, at least 1 hour. So now that, while our dough is chilling, we're going to make cookie paint, meaning we're going to make like paint that I can paint onto cookies to make little emojis and other designs. This here you can see says me trying but failing immensely to separate the egg yolk from the egg white. Did a mess I made having to be cleaned up, so please enjoy me failing and yeah. And what I was trying to do is sort of, well, I was originally separated with 2 cups, but then I thought, oh no, I remember there's a way that like you use the eggshells to do it, like to separate the stuff. So, but then that didn't work because the eggshells were cracked. And then I tried using the cups again, and then I completely ended up butchering the egg. So that was sort of a waste of egg, but yeah, this is it having to be cleaned up. Oh my gosh. And no one ever let me try and separate an egg again because that was a disaster. Then it was separated properly and I can get on to the recipe for our cookie paint. So the actual recipe for the cookie paint is you need to separate, I think it was 1 egg yolk. Let me just check here. I have the book with me. Okay, so you get some, you separate a egg yolk and then you mix it with 1/4 teaspoon of water, and then you mix it together. Okay, and then we got 3 cups, and then we put a little of our egg mixture in each one. You can also use evaporated milk if you want instead of the egg mixture, but yeah, either one, we did the egg mixture though. And then after it's all divided evenly into your 3 cups, you want to add some food coloring to each cup, and then it says here you get cookie paint. If paint gets too thick, just add a few drops of water. I sort of had that problem with some of the paints, but I didn't realize at the time, and some were a bit runny, but all of them were like not too bad. But yeah, it's a really good recipe. The only problem I had with it is when I baked the cookies, they sort of puffed up and there were gaps in between the paint. But I don't know if that's the recipe's fault. Probably not. Probably something I did, but I don't know. So as past me saying here, I'm saying that we need the black for the details such as the eyes and the mouth. I use gel food coloring for the black, but I think you can use any food coloring you want. I feel like the gel might have been a bit thicker, which looking back at it makes sense. I didn't really think of that before, but yeah, anyways, just mix it up until it looks nice and even and colory. And for the red, we needed it for like 2 or 3 emoji biscuits, because there's going to be like the tongue on the emojis, or the hearts on the emojis, or I know lips, but yeah, just for some details. So I just did a bit. Also, the food coloring is very strong, or the one that I'm using, so just put a bit in, see how it looks, and then if you need more, then just put more in. But you don't want to add too much, because then it's unnecessary. I went to go wash my hands because I got cookie paint on them, dye. Anyways, so I just mixed the red up. The last one will be yellow. We're gonna need a lot of the paint because all of the emojis are yellow. Well, there's a little surprise there, and not all of them are yellow, but most of them are. So I just had a bit in because the egg yolk color was actually pretty orange itself, but later on I noticed that it looked so orange, but later on you'll see that I tested how orange it was by painting it onto a tissue. But as you can see, I accidentally added, I think, too much, but then later on we added more and it was just the right amount of yellow, so it may look thicker or oranger in the cup, but it's always good to test how, if the color's right on like a tissue or something, if you want. So yeah. As you can see here, we're adding more, and if I didn't make any sense before, you'll see here what I meant. We were testing the colors, pretty much what I'm trying to say. Alright, so here I'm putting flour down to roll out the dough table, but this wasn't necessary, it turns out, because I didn't actually need to do this, because later on you'll see we just end up rolling it in a hand to make it a ball shape, but we're going to use glass shapes to make circles in it, but turns out when you roll it in your hands, you might have a bit more control on how big it is, because sometimes glasses are bigger or sometimes they're smaller, but you can use whatever. You can use glasses, you can use cookie cutters, or you can just roll it in your hands and then flatten it down to make a circular cookies. But since they're emojis, I wanted them to be circular, nice simple cookie shape. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is pretty much all of this was unnecessary, but I know, it's a cool little time-lapse to watch anyways. It's very speed up. I think this is speed up times 5. So it's very speed up compared to real life. I'm not good at rolling out dough at all, as you can see, but yeah. I needed some more help with rolling out the dough. So, once all of the dough was ready and chilled, as you can see, I'm demonstrating how we just rolled the dough into our hands. The dough, sorry, not the dough, worked. So yeah, we just rolled the dough into our hands, just to like sort of medium ball size. And then after that, we just squished it down. Yes, you'll see me doing in a second. I'm trying to get flour off the bench, I think. I don't know. But yeah, you just roll your hands to look like that. So you have a little ball. And you, I guess, throw it around, whatever I'm doing. And then you just apply a little firm pressure. And then you have your circular shape for your cookie. So here all of the cookies are laid out. Flattened, we have 2 trays. This is the one that I'm going to be painting. So to start off, I'm just going to start doing a simple smiley emoji. This is speed up, I think, times 6, maybe? I don't know, but it's speed up quite a lot. So yeah, so I'm just going to be going in for the eyes with black paint and just sit back, relax, and watch me painting this smiley cookie in. I didn't record the rest because that would take way too long. This in itself was like half an hour long, so yeah. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cookies to go times 2. I couldn't even finish all of them, but you'll then see the finished product later on, so stick tight. So here the wonderful finished products are. Oh my goodness. Well, they're not baked yet, but this is all the emoji cookies finished. Oh my god. Some of them are just, all of them, they're amazing. Also, the little pale one here, I call it the Corona cookie. So that one, it's a special one to fit the occasion of this video. I made a Corona cookie, and you'll see of the next set of cookies, this more, which I will explain later. Anyway, so you have smiley face emoji, and so on, so on, so much. But I probably need to move on to the next part of this. So yeah, here they are. So next you want to bake your cookies for, let me just check in the book here if it says okay, so it says here, heat oven to 400 degrees, put your cookies on a ungreased cookie sheet, you don't have to do that part, and cook for 6 to 8 minutes. I can't remember if I did that or not, but this is actually from the second Sesame Street book. That's where I got the cookie paint recipe from, and I got the cookie dough recipe from the first Sesame Street book. So yeah, but you wanna then bake them up in the oven. Okay, well that got a tiny little tiny bit out of hand. But anyways, once they're done baking in the oven, you can take them out, and ta-da! They could look something a little bit like this. You can sort of tell what I meant by like the patchy bits. Anyways, I'll let you watch video from past me about the final project, and then I'll come back after that. Answering that one, and that one is a real face. Now viruses are cooking. You can't quite see them. These are the Corona cookies. So, as I said, I explained before, these Corona cookies are antibodies. Well, we call them antibodies. So, if you have them, you're free from coronavirus. And you know that little pale cookie before? Well, he ate one of his antibodies, and he's much better now. And now he looks like this. So he went from this to this, and that's what happens if you eat these cookies. So these are the Corona cookies. So, yeah. So that will be all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it entertains you. It's quite a long one. Coming up half an hour, but oh well. Also, don't question why I have a bunch of pucks for my background screen when I do my voiceovers. I just saw it on Google without searching for background screens, and I decided to use it. So yeah, they're adorable. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.